So Abby's starting to wonder if she's a bad friend.
Not me specifically, but I think this is kind of a thing that women kind of go through when you lose a friendship or you move on past a friendship. Is there's a lot of shame around women not having like these lifelong friends. I think you hear a lot about like these people having friendships of 20 and 30 years. And if you can look back and go, well, my oldest friend is like, only 4 years old, there can be a lot of shame around that. So this week on my podcast, The Breakup Breakdown, which is on Bert's Pioneer Network, we actually had a friendship breakup episode, which is a little different because normally it's usually about someone cheating on someone with, their professor or whatever. It's a lot of like romantic scandals, but this week was all about a friendship breakup where a friendship had ended after 30 years. And it was so crazy, the timing of how this happened, because I had just seen this clip on Mel Robbins' podcast with someone I had already interviewed on my podcast like weeks ago. So I was like, I got there first. Mel Robbins interviewed someone that I already interviewed. Her name is Danielle Bayard-Jackson, and she focuses a lot on female friendships and just those complicated dynamics. And I was able to kind of quote something she had said in this interview about feeling shame around losing a friendship that had lasted that long. But actually, in this podcast episode with Mel Robbins, Danielle said that most people actually cycle out through their friendships about every 7 years.
Women replace about half of their friends every 7 years?
Yeah, so men and women. There's research that finds that we replace half of our friends every 7 years. Huh. I hope that makes people feel a little less ashamed if they have friendships that don't work out, because what that says to me is that there's this natural pruning that happens throughout your life. I also hope that has people release any shame around needing to make new friends, because I hear people say, I'm out here making friends at 42. I should have had all my friends from high school. Really? Because I know some of the friends I had in high school, it would not be appropriate for us to still be friends. It wouldn't make sense to where I am right now or the values I have right now. And so if we are, dropping or shedding new friends every 7 years, that means we need to be picking up new ones. Because what does that churn rate look like? How am I positioning myself to invite new friendships into my life?
Yeah, so making friends isn't something that you just do in high school once and you never think about again, but it's a skill that needs to be honed over and over again. And so when I heard that, when I was able to share that information with the person I interviewed, I felt like there was so much comfort in that, because I think women can sometimes, like I said, there's just a lot of shame around women who lose friendships. Like sometimes like women will even pit friends against each other, and it can really just make you look like you're the bad guy if there's a friendship that ended. And I think it's just a really comforting thing to know that that's something you need to consistently do throughout your life. And it's something that everybody is going through. It's not just you. There's not something wrong with you because every 7 years or however long you move past your friends, that's a normal part of life, and you're a part of the majority.
You guys do this real quick. Break out your phones and go to your photos, because I just did this as you were talking about it. Very interested. And then I went back 7 years and started looking at the pictures that I was taking with friends.
What year is that?
2018.
Yeah, 2018. And I was taking a look, just scrolling really quickly on the pictures that I had socially with friends and comparing them with what I have now. And when I'm looking at these pictures from back there, A, man, have I aged. B, there's a picture of me with Charlemagne the God. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, flex a little harder.
Right? Y'all still friends?
Well, if by friends you mean I still have his phone number and I've never used it. But I'm looking at these pictures and it's spot on, man. I am not hanging out with 3/4 of the people that I was hanging out with that year. That's crazy.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, like all my photos from 2018 are in college, and I think naturally everyone kind of moves on past that phase of their life and sort of the people in it too. But like, I still have a picture with my best friend from college who's seeing me next weekend, so that's comforting.
This is interesting. There are people that we're still friends, but we don't necessarily see each other or hang out because our lives went into different directions. But does that still count? Like it's not like we had a fallout.
Right.
You just kind of moved past it. Like you wouldn't consider someone, like if you're going to have a birthday party, you don't know if you necessarily invite them.
Got you.
Right. You're just not it's not like a connective, intimate relationship anymore.
Yeah.
There's one in here for sure that we had a fallout. And it was a group of his friends that I won't get into it. But yet most of the people that year, I am not still hanging out with. You?
Only one.
Only one?
Mm-hmm.
Only one what?
Person that I'm not hanging out with.
Yeah?
But,
Same.
Yeah.
One?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think about 80% of my friends I've been friends with over 20 years. The two friends I did lose, I have done a lot of self-reflecting and wondered if it were me, but for the most part, all of my friends have pretty much been long-term.
However, I really do like this idea that you can continue, because it makes sense. Like, you continue to grow. And we talk about, like, in relationships, you want to grow together and you continue, Bert, you always say, fall in like with the person that you're with. And so why would that not extend to friends? And some of them will grow with you and some will grow apart, and there's no right or wrong. But it is refreshing to hear someone else be like, at 42, I'm still making friends. And you're like, oh yeah, everything I did in my early life doesn't have to dictate the rest of my life. Like, I can build the life I want now for the person who I am now.
Yeah, so if you have friends that have lasted 20 years, good for you, but you're not the majority.
Tell people where they can find your podcast.
You can listen to the Breakup Breakdown wherever you get your favorite podcasts. And again, it's on Bert's Network Pioneer.
The Bert Show.